Hello, my name is Kerem. I'm a Birmingham teacher, and today in this lesson we are going to focus on reading Skillful 2, Unit 5. The topic is success. Now, I want you to think about the word success and how would you define it? Is it about money? Is it about social status? Is it about a sports car or a luxurious house? And at home, I want you to give a 5 minutes or 3 minutes, think about the definition of success. And now, I want you to complete the sentences after you think about success. Now, for me, success is something abstract rather than something I can see or I can touch. So for me, success is believing myself, my abilities, and trusting my instincts. And success isn't the money you're earning a month or the house you're living in. Success is something like I can feel. Now, after that, I want you to think about a successful person. So what are the characteristics of a successful person? For me, if you ask me, a successful person is someone who is motivated, who is determined, okay? A successful person has no quit in him. And a successful person or unsuccessful person is the opposite of successful one. So if someone is quitting in the middle of his job, I think this is not a successful person's characteristic or personality, I can say. Now, I want you to look at the photographs, and I think you know these people, but if you don't know, first one is Bill Gates, and he is the founder of IBM and Microsoft, if I'm not mistaken, and Steve Jobs, and he is the founder of Apple computers, mobile phones, and Elon Musk. He is the founder of Tesla and SpaceX. These are all well-known and successful people. Now, I want you to think, what are these people, having as a personal trait, characteristic features? What characteristics are necessary to become successful? It can be drive, right? Drive is like motivation. So a person who has drive can go all the way up until he finishes his job. So I think these people has drive. And self-reliance. Self-reliance, it is like self-confident. So let's say I am self-reliant. This means that I trust my own abilities. I trust my capabilities. And willpower. I think willpower is one of the most important ones, because willpower is like you know what you want. So willpower it means you know what you want and you are focused. So if you lose your focus, so if you cannot focus, this means that you cannot be successful, or it is hard to become a successful person. And patience. So patience, in literal meaning, it means ability to wait, or it means ability to wait something get done. If you're not patient, if you are not a patient person, this means that you cannot finish the job or you cannot finish the task. In this case, it is hard to become a successful person. Passion. So again, this is for me the second most important one, second most essential one, because passion is loving what you do, loving your job. And there's a saying, if you love your job, you're not working, because it is like your hobby. So if you love your job, if you have passion, so you don't need the work, because it is like your hobby and you can do it however you want. And before the exercise, I want you to go through with this vocabulary related to success, or success, being successful. Now, ability. So ability is, if I tell you I can ride my bike very fast, or I can swim very fast, this is my ability. So able to do something. And attempt. Attempt can be a noun or can be a verb. If I say she failed in her first attempt, this is noun. If I say she attempted to finish the job, this is verb. And attempt, it means trying, showing effort on something. And believe in, this is a phrasal verb. As you can see, believe is verb, okay? Believe is a verb and in is a preposition. When they come together, it becomes a phrasal verb. Basically, it means trusting yourself. I mean, trusting your capabilities, your power. And deal with. This is also a phrasal verb, and deal is the verb and with is the preposition here. The meaning is, if you ask me, let's say there's a problem and you need to solve the problem, and solving the problem, we can say you deal with the problem. As an example, let's say there is a angry customer and customer service is dealing with the angry customer, okay? He is trying to solve the problem. Failure. So before failure, I should first talk about succeed. So succeed is the meaning, it is achieving your desired result or achieving your goal. Failure is opposite of succeed. So both of, like, succeed is verb, failure is noun, by the way, and failure is the opposite of succeed. So if you cannot achieve your goal, so it's a failure, okay? And go wrong, it's a phrase, actually. So the meaning is, it is like making a bad decision. If something goes wrong, this means there's a problem. And the last verb, the last noun is opportunity. Opportunity is, it makes something possible. It is like the synonym of opportunity, I can say chance. If something possible, it means that there is an opportunity. There's a chance. Now let's move on to the exercises. I want you to fill in the blanks, like with me or before me, and we will do it together. And let's look at the first one. I feel confident I will do well on this course. I can say I trust myself. So it is, I believe in myself. And read the sentence. So you can see that, you can think when you feel bad, okay? And there is an answer. I only like doing things I know I will achieve. So you feel bad if you're not successful. And in this third sentence, think about when you feel embarrassed, okay? And when you don't want to see other people. So the reason is, when things go wrong, you can feel embarrassed or you don't want to see other people. Now, look at the fourth sentence. You can think, this chance will make me a success. Chance. Remember the previous slide. What was the synonym of chance? It was opportunity. And fifth sentence, I can say keyword is problems here, okay? So keyword is problems. So when there is a problem, we solve it. And what was the close synonym, like phrasal verb for this? It was deal with. And I always edit and rewrite my essays. I never hand in the first try. So what was the synonym of try? It was attempt, okay? You can think this is a verb or noun. You can see this is a noun here. In this sentence, we use attempt as a noun, okay? Now, seventh, I have something to succeed at anything I try hard. Think about yourself. If you want to be successful in some particular thing, some special thing, so you need to have the ability. The answer is ability. And I worry about something and not doing well. It stops me trying. What can be the answer? There is just last one vocabulary left. So it is failure. Now let's move on to the next slide. Skimming. So skimming is a reading technique. We use it for fast reading, and actually in our daily life we are using it. For example, when you enter a website, you are reading the title, you are checking the pictures, photographs, or when you look at the newspaper, you are reading the title, you are reading the subtitles, headlines. So the point of skimming is to read fast and also trying to get the main idea. So when you get the main idea of the text, you can say, okay, this text is interesting, I can continue reading. And how do you skim read? So first, as I said, we read the title, and if there is subtitle and subheadings, we also read them. And we look at the illustrations, pictures, photographs, and generally, while we are skimming in a text or in an article, we read the first sentence and last sentence of every paragraph, okay? Because as you know from your writing classes, the first sentence is the topic sentence and last sentence is the concluding sentence. In the first sentence, in the topic sentence, it gives the main idea, and concluding sentence, it rephrases the paragraph and you can understand the writer's opinion. So this is one way to skim. So if there is, let's say, 5 paragraphs, okay, you read the first topic sentence and concluding sentence of every paragraph, each paragraph. And the other way of skimming is, let's say it's again 5 paragraph text. So, you know, introduction paragraph, you can understand whole point of the text itself. So you can read the first paragraph fully, totally, and you can read the conclusion paragraph totally. So this is also a way. But if you want to understand what is every paragraph, like what is each paragraph talking about, so you need to read first and last sentence of each paragraph. It is better than reading only first and the last paragraph. Now, you don't need to read everything. You will just run through the page with your eyes quickly. Now, continue to think about the meaning of the text while you are skimming. Now, let's see this in action. So, how do we skim? This is our related paragraph. It should be on page 86 or 87 on your book, Skillful 2. And so this is the first introduction paragraph. Let's read the underlined red sentences. Many people fear failure and try to avoid it even when they have the opportunity to succeed. And we read the conclusion sentence, altering, changing our view so that failure is fine and nothing to worry about could be the key to opening opportunities to be successful in life. So, when you read the first and the last sentence, what comes to your mind? So, if you ask me, here, I understand failure is something normal. We should change our idea of failure. Maybe failure is a step towards success. So, these things comes to my mind when I read the first and last sentence. Now, let's move on to the next slide. And this is the second paragraph of the text. Sometimes, when you read the first sentence, maybe you cannot understand. So if you cannot understand, it is better to read more than one sentence, okay? Failure is an aspect of everyone's life. However, when we think of experiencing failure, we should think of ourselves as a failure. People often feel ashamed or embarrassed when things go wrong, but failure actually gives us the chance to learn, adapt and improve. Now, The underlined sentence is the first one, okay, but let's say I didn't understand totally what is going on, and I read a couple of more sentences. So in my mind, it is better. Now let's read the concluding sentence. Nearly winning gives us a feeling of nearly being successful and makes us much more determined to succeed next time we try. Now, what is the main idea of this paragraph? Is it how to react failure or changing our feelings about failure? Think about the sentences you read, okay? Think about the sentences you read. And I think it says we should change our feelings about failure, okay? Now, third paragraph, passion is also a vital part of being successful. As you remember, passion means extremely interest on your job or extremely interest in something, okay? So it is something very important. Passion is also an important part of being successful, let's say. And when I read the last sentence, feeling good because you are doing something you love or are supporting others can be one way of viewing our own success even when others don't recognize your achievements. When I read these sentences, I can clearly understand the main idea. So what about you? What is the main idea? Is it importance in believing what you are doing, or importance of loving what you are doing, let's say, or importance of other people's view? What do you think? I think answer is A, importance in believing what you are doing. This is the fourth paragraph. Not only do people need passion to succeed, they also need to keep trying. The ability to not give up is essential. I think here keyword is not give up. So it means not quitting, okay? And when I read the last concluding sentence, the ability to not give up and keep going is part of nearly all successful people's personalities, characteristics. I think for me, I don't need to read the other sentences. If I think as a student, you can also understand it is very clear when you read the first and the last sentence of this paragraph, and you don't need to read the other sentences to understand the gist, the main idea. So what is the main idea, can you tell me? And is it not giving up or changing your job interest? I think, of course, not giving up is the correct answer. And this is the concluding paragraph of the text, failing to succeed text concluding paragraph. As you can see, we underlined all the paragraph because it is only 2 sentences. Now, like I said, in paragraphs, writer or author gives his own opinion or her own opinion or a suggestion. Let's read it. Whether you want to be a writer, a business person, or a musician, being successful will mean you have to deal with a lot of failure. Lots of people see this as a lack of ability, but arguably it should just be seen as a step towards success. So you can understand the writer's opinion here. He says that whatever you want to be, don't think failure is something bad. Think about it's a step towards being more successful. It's a try. I showed you some of the famous, well-known people. So they are famous, they are multi-billionaire, but do you think they were always successful? I think no. They always failed 1,000 times, but still they tried. What can be the main idea? How to react failure, or what to do if you fail. I think this is about how to react failure. So you should change your reaction to failure. So you can react in many ways. When you failed, for example, you can quit, but when you failed, you can think this as something teaching. So you can learn from it and you can keep going. It is always up to you to change the circumstances, okay? So this is the answer. Now, another useful technique is scanning. When do we use scanning? For trying to reach the specific information in the text. Like skimming, we are doing fast reading again, and your eyes move quickly through the text, so you just run through it. You don't need to read every word one by one. If you are searching for a name, places, numbers, and dates, we generally use scanning technique, and I strongly suggest you to underline the parts that you are thinking important, or the parts that maybe you can encounter later in the questions. So it is always better to underline or highlight the important parts. Names, it can be places, numbers, dates, cities, country names, or people's name. As you read the text, circle the numbers, dates, names, etc., like I said. And now, in our exams, we always asking reference pronoun exercises. Now, let's look at them together, and we will use its scanning technique to do this activity. So here in this phrase, by convincing others of it, we are asking the bold pronoun, it, and what does it refer to. So you need to find the paragraph, but actually it is in the parentheses, so you don't need to search for it. And I also make it red, you to see it, it's easier to see it. And now, from now on, when you use the scanning technique, you find the pronoun, you find the related sentence. Sometimes the answer is not in the same sentence with the pronoun, so you may have to check the previous sentence or the next sentence to understand or comprehend the reference of the pronoun. So think about it for a second, and what can be the answer? What can it refer to in the text? And the answer is our own ability here. And our next sentence, next phrase, do better in the next one. So here, bold word, bold pronoun is one. Now we will search for one in the paragraph 2. Sentences here: if someone does badly in a job interview, they can learn what went wrong and do better in the next one. So in the next what? You need to ask this question, in the next but what? So just go through the sentence. So first step, you scanned it, you find the paragraph, you find the sentence. Now you should comprehend what it refers to. And the answer is a job interview in this paragraph. He then went on to become something. We will find the subject pronoun in the paragraph 4. The sentence is, he then went on to become one of the most successful movie directors of all time. When you look at this sentence, you cannot understand what he refers to. So you need to go through the previous sentence. Steven Spielberg famously failed to get into college to study movies and was rejected more than once. He then went on to become one of the most successful movie directors of all time. I think you got the idea. Sometimes you cannot find it in the same sentence, so you need to go to the previous sentence, maybe the next sentence. Here he refers to Steven Spielberg. And next one, each one can make us stronger. What each one? You need to ask yourself. So it's in the 4th paragraph, and when you look at the red sentence, every failed attempt is difficult, but each one can make us stronger if we react in the right way. So the answer is failed attempt here. Each failed attempt can make us stronger here. We use pronouns. If you ask why are we using pronouns, it is clear if we use the normal noun. We use it for repetition. We don't want to write everything like many times. So we write pronouns to block that, to not do that. And thank you for watching. See you next time.